Hey guys, what do you guys want to talk about? Well, I guess from the title of this video, we're going to talk about one Mr. RKO Randall Kate Orton, as or as you guys will prefer to know as Randy Orton. So, I didn't think I was gonna end up making this video, but ever since when Cowboy Bob Orton made a medical update, but there are also rumors that he's due coming back soon. I guess it's figured to come up and make a video about it as to whether will Randy Orton return or not, because there is still some chance that he may not ever come back to wrestle. But there's also a good chance that Orton will come back. And I will kinda touch about everything or whether he will or not. But I want to start going all the way back last year, as I wanted to say around WrestleMania 38 was a little before, where I heard something about Randy Orton's back, specifically the lower feet is getting worse, that he started to feel the effects. The one very telling was when he got interviewed, was starting and was getting asked about the RKO, and he was saying even before Mania, he even said he was starting to feel the effects of the RKO, he was starting to feel a little weirdly about it. So he said that. Then past WrestleMania last year, then he and Matt Riddle lost the tag unification to the Usos. Randy Orton got ran off, getting attacked by the Bloodline and all that stuff. And they did that just so Randy can do the Loader Fusion back surgery, which it was only thought it was going to be for a show up, because apparently the rumor mill at that time last year was it was going to be Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns for the Undisputed Universal title. That's why they did that whole angle. And it looked like it might have well happened, but then you have to start a little back. You have to start deep in a little bit, and new reports start coming in that apparently Orton's lower back was said to be a lot worse than anyone had imagined to be, and he was out for SummerSlam and pretty much the rest of that year, to the point where he just did the Loader Fusion back surgery, I think in November. Yeah, because I even saw a photo of where his wife that Randy was taking, presumably finishing off of the Loader Fusion back surgery. So there was that. Then I heard rumors that he might have come back at WrestleMania and all that stuff, but I don't even think I fully bought into. So because apparently there was news he was backstage at WrestleMania that year, but he didn't appear on camera, obviously. And then a month ago, I saw the time you're watching this, Cowboy Bob Orton was asked in an interview about Randy Orton, and he said that he's been training. He doesn't know that he's coming back, but I don't think he needs to. And he said he thinks that the doctors has advised him and pretty much told him that to never really wrestle again. And that caused a big slur on my social media people saying like there's a likely that Orton is retired or stuff. But then I start seeing news that Orton might come back for Money in the Bank and all that stuff. So it all has led me to wanting to fill in and give my thoughts and where I see this come back. Will he ever come back or not? So I want to start off, by the way, by saying I hope that whatever Randy Orton makes it is the best decision for him and his family. Because the last thing he needs is a decision that will end up coming back to haunt him. And I seriously hope he is enough healthy, like 110%, that he can come back. Because, like all of us, like, I do miss when you're like, hell, like, today's WWE could definitely use someone, a caliber, like one Randy Orton. And like, Matt Riddle, like, he has fell off tremendously ever since the separation, the pause bit of Arcade Bro, which was pretty much the highlight of Monday Night Raw throughout that early portion of 2022 when Orton was there. Like, if that RKO pairing of both of them pretty much has elevated kind of both guys tremendously. With Randy in the sense of he was having the time of his life. He seemed to be a whole new man when this pairing came up. It had a whole new dimension to the Randy Orton character. And it elevated a ton of Matt Riddle in the sense of it showed Vince at the time when he was still running his things. It showed him that he can be a top level. He can be a top player in the main event scene, and he will totally feel he won't feel out of place. So it's definitely beneficial, yeah, and he could definitely use some. And Matt Riddle could definitely have that use back to him if he got back together with Randy Orton to get back the pairing of RK Bro. So I miss seeing Randy Orton. But do I think he will wrestle again? Here's what I will say, and kinda honestly. I don't quite necessarily think we see the last of Randy Orton in the ring, but if he does come back, what kind of a comeback or a career he will have? Because I kind of think like his full-time days are about to be over. Or if not, they're already over. Like how, like, you have to consider, like, if he does come back, how much we will really see of Randy Orton on television. It's something you really have to ask yourself. Like, you might get to a point where you only see him for only a handful of matches here and there. You might never ever see Randy wrestle on house shows again. Especially with an injury like this, it's like, who knows? And and this is where it gets kind of tough because going back to what Randy Orton said about the RKO in the early months of 2022, he was starting to really feel the effects of hitting that RKO on basically his back. And that's such an ironic thing because the RKO is pretty much what he was known for. I mean, there have been memes about it. People, like, when you see, like, people try to do wrestling moves on social media nowadays, they would use a clip of that RKO, or they would use Randy Orton's, like, image or AL stuff and hit the RKO on somebody. Like, people have made this to the ends of times with that RKO. And it's so an ironic thing how that signature move, that the one that everybody associates you with, pretty much had to require taking a back bump every freaking night of the week. And it's such an easy move. Like, you can hit it to anyone at any time out of nowhere. Like, it's just an easy thing to do, but you'll stop and try to think, like, to see where that can affect on your back, because, and this is kind of applies to, like, any kind of wrestler. Like, it doesn't matter, like, how safe you move is, or how safely before you can hit that move. There's always a risk. Like, the old saying goes, like, every move, everything you do in wrestling is a risk, because basically the human body is not built enough to take the kind of punishment that these pro wrestlers take in night in, night out, 365 days a year. I mean, shit, like, look at people like, I don't know, Hulk Hogan. Like, the dude barely left his feet when he did that later, but, like, the guy was like 280 pounds landing on his back and ass for the fucking leg drop. Sometimes 40 days a year, if you want to believe the holster. It's a little iffy when you believe him or not. But, brother, like, the dude, all these years later, has pretty much no feelings in his upper back body, because he's paying the price for all of those leg drops and all of those bumps, all of those years. And, like, yeah, like, and it's unfortunate, because, like I said, because, like, when the Orton, like, the Orton is an easy move, but, like, yeah, like, and Orton has done some pretty nasty RKOs over the years. I remember the one specific one where at WrestleMania 30, where it was Daniel Bryan, Batista triple threat, and there was a point in the match where Batista was, and it was a great spot, don't get me wrong. It was, Batista was gonna hit Daniel Bryan with a Batista bomb to the announcing table, and he throws Daniel Bryan, but catch Randy Orton hits the RKO from the back to Daniel Bryan to the announcing table, but in doing so, he landed right on the announcing table with the monitor with it. Like, no fucking wonder he was starting to feel the effects of his lower back, because, like, Jesus fucking Christ. You go back and watch that, and, like, how the fuck did he do that RKO? and stayed pretty well for the rest of that match because, like, god damn, I don't know how much I would take it. So, yeah, there's the common question. So, I do think he might, I do kind of see him coming back, and with the absence of the year-long stance that he has had, makes the chances of him go up quite nicely. But I will say, like, if he does, if the doctors have told him to never wrestle again, and if Orton had to retire, I think he can retire with pretty much no regrets and be able to look at to say that he had one hell of a career. Like, Randy Orton at this point has nothing else to prove at this point. Nothing. Like, he has won pretty much like I don't know, every freaking title there is in this company. He has won Money in the Bank, Royal Rumbles, twice of them. Has main evented WrestleMania twice. Like, he has pretty much had done it all. And I don't know what he could really, like, he really has nothing to prove at this point. And he can, if he does retire, he can look back at his career and see it as very fondly. With Randy Orton, like he had like dynamic of that he wasn't like the guy like John Cena or even Roman Reigns now. Like, he wasn't the guy, but he has always pretty much maintained a top level guy position throughout pretty much a good 15-20 years in this company. Like he was pushed strongly right from the get-go with the Evolution days, with that great Intercontinental title run, had that great feud with Mick Foley, ended up becoming the youngest world champion in history. Yeah, he had kind of downer career after he lost the world title immediately after to Triple H, like 2004 and stuff. But then, when he became the Viper and was like in peak form, like I want to say 2009, 2010, like those were really the prime years of Randy Orton. Even 2008, if you wanted to throw it in there, like, he was in really peak form Viper mode in Viper build with Randy Orton. And yeah, he has one hell of a career. So yeah, so on one hand, I do see him still coming back eventually. Like I said, because of the long assets he has had and how long he has been out of the ring for about pretty much a year at this point. So there's still some inklings the earth of Randy Orton can come back, but there's still a chance he might not do. And if he does, he has still had one of the greatest careers in the company's history. So, one of the legendary careers in the company's history. So, like, he has pretty much stayed on top and never really, like, gone to Hollywood or have left departed to somewhere else. Like, he has stayed through and through with WWE. And that, to me, will probably be his greatest legacy within WWE when it's all said and done with his career. That he was through and through WWE first. So I will always have respect him for that. So he can he can look back his career fond and win. Probably no regrets. But yeah, I do see some still end up him coming back. And the WWE probably can really use, like I said, use someone of a caliber like Randy Orton. And for Matt Riddle's sake, like he definitely needs someone like Randy Orton. I do hope to see him coming back because we all missed it too at this point. So yeah, so that's my thoughts on the Randy Orton situation. I don't know if he's coming back. I don't know if he's coming back by Money or Bank or potentially SummerSlam. I don't know about Money Back, but yeah, I do see him still coming back eventually. So yeah, so that's my thoughts of that situation. One, Mr. RKO. Like this video if you haven't. Subscribe. Tell me what you think about this Randy Orton situation. Will he come back or not in the comment section below? And as always, I'm Jason Marinez. I approve this message. Smash that like I don't know where.